We have been talking about how to budget your money. So today we're going to look at a specific plan. A great way to start saving or budgeting your money is to use a 50-30-20% plan. The percentages can be changed if you have to, but this is a good starting point that most professionals say you should do. The 50-30-20% budgeting system means you divide your monthly income into 3 categories. You look at what your needs are, what your wants are, and how much you should be saving. You should always pay yourself first. Very important. First of all, what is your net income? What you bring home? When you get a job, you will not get your full paycheck. Let's say that you work 10 hours and you get $10 per hour. That would be $100. You're going to have deductions taken out and taxes taken out. So use the amount that you actually get to take home. Instead of getting $100, you might get $80. Use that as your base, and that's how you're going to calculate your 50-30-20% categories on. So the example I'm giving you here is if you have a monthly income of $2,000, 50% of it would be $1,000, and that would go to your needs. 30% of it would go to your wants. If you take $2,000 times 30%, that's $600. And if you take a look at your savings, that would be equal to 20%. 20% of $2,000 would be $400. No money should be unaccounted for. If we take $400 in savings, $600 on wants, and $1,000 on needs, that's your $1,000. This budget divides your monthly income into the 3 categories we've been talking about: needs, wants, and savings. Think about what you think those categories are about. Most people recognize that needs are the expenses that you must pay for, that you need to live. That would be your housing. That could be a house or an apartment. Your water, your electricity, your food. You must have clothing. Your health care. You need to go to the doctor. A car. The one thing I see missing here is a phone. However, a lot of the professionals say that that is a want. I think in today's world, a phone is probably a need. It's how you get your calls that something is happening. It's how an employer would call you. I would include a cell phone in needs. Everything I've researched said wants are non-essential items, and they are internet. I could do without internet, but not without the phone. The phone is the contact to the world and how you would get your job and other vital information. Going out to restaurants is definitely a want. Entertainment, travel, fashion. A lot of electronics are wants. All the fun things you have. The phone doesn't have to be the top of the line. That is a want, but a basic phone is a need. On the previous slide, we talked about a car or transportation being a need. A really fancy sports car is a want, but a car that gets you from place to place, it doesn't have to be an expensive car, is a need. Okay, savings are when you want to pay off debt and when you want to put money into a savings account. Savings are very important because if you have an emergency pop up, then you need to be able to take care of that, such as a flat tire. That can be like $250 for a car. And if you don't have savings, how do you pay for that? If you put it on a charge card, that can charge you a lot of interest, and it just costs you more money. So having a savings can help you get those special things you want, like a car. It can help you pay off emergencies. There's many reasons you have to save. So here, the examples that go into that 20% savings is for your emergency fund. It's paying off student loans, paying off credit card debt. It's reducing your debt load so that you have more money to save for your future, maybe for your retirement. You should track your spending for a couple of months using the 50-30-20% spending plan. The reason you track your spending is to see where do you need to make changes. Why are you not making it into that 50% category for needs, that 30% category for wants, and that 20% category for saving? By watching how you spend your money, maybe you'll see that you go out to eat at fancy restaurants too much. You need to cut back on that. Maybe you see you go to concerts and movies too much, and you can cut back on those things. You can have just as much fun having friends over, playing games, watching a movie at home as spending a lot of money. So you can, by tracking, you get an idea of how you spend your money and where you need to make your adjustments. You have options though. You can make your budget work if you cut your spending. So you may have to give up some of your wants or cut down on your needs. Just because you want to have a car does not mean it has to be the fanciest, most expensive car. Maybe you get rid of your really expensive car and buy a cheaper car. Or you lower your cell phone plan to have less options. Maybe you spend a little less on name brand products at the grocery store and buy some store brand. You always have a little wiggle room there. If you can't cut back on your expenses, then you need to increase your income. That may mean you look for a part-time job in addition to the job you currently have. You could increase your money coming in that way. And if it's a temporary thing where you need extra money, you could also sell some things you don't use anymore. Have a garage sale. Sometimes you might need to change percentages. When you're young, your parents provide your house, your car, your food. So maybe you will buy some of your clothing and have some wants, movies, that type thing. But more of your money could go into savings. So it kind of depends on where you are in life. I would say a young person should start putting more into savings because maybe you could help with college. Maybe you could buy a car then, especially when your parents are providing for most of your needs. As you get older, you will have more required payments, and that's why it's good to have a bigger savings plan that you had when you were younger. As you get older, you may buy a house and have a house payment. You may have a car payment. You might have college bills that you have to pay off. So your needs will definitely increase at that point. And if you can still put 20% into savings, that is great. The main thing I want you to understand is you should always pay yourself first by making sure you put some of your money into savings. Because as you get older, you will want to retire. Social Security, Social Security will not be enough for a retirement account. So you have to have some savings to help subsidize as you get older and you start quitting your job. Okay, now you will have some questions to answer that go along with this, and you can look back at this video as much as you like.